everybody. Welcome to another episode of Ladies with Tradies, working the trade, living the life. I'm really excited to have some dear clients slash friends on the screen and in your ears today, everybody. Bec and James Ware from Berrigan. So their business is Ware Builders. And yeah, these guys have been around for quite some time with the Ladies with Tradies, and everybody absolutely loves and adores them. So I know our community are going to be pumped to hear from you guys. So thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having us, Kate.
All right. So tell us about Ware Builders, about you, Ware, where you're based, about how you got here, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, we're just a small family building company. I started an apprenticeship with my old man, who's a builder, and his old man as well was a builder. So it's just born into it. Yeah, pretty much been doing it since a good walk. We'll be on job sites and under their feet and everything like that. Yeah, we've been trading for, I don't know now.
I think Hudson was a baby, so he's 14 now.
Yeah, so 14 years me and Bec have been doing it. And yeah, we do pretty much everything. Domestic homes, renovations, extensions, even a little bit of commercial stuff, doing like school maintenance, hospitals, police station, bloody everything. Yeah.
Yeah, we like the versatility.
Yeah, that's a good thing about it. There's different places all the time. You don't seem to get too bored, and yeah, it's good.
Beautiful. And so you're in regional New South Wales, so you do have to be versatile and be doing a lot of different things, because not everybody's building a house every 5 minutes out there, I wouldn't imagine.
No, definitely not. And it's always been good. James has always really liked working in some of the school sites and things like that, because it was another way of branching out into other areas of work too. So it was always great working for, it was Joss Management, was Colin Joss company, wasn't it, many years ago?
Yeah.
So yeah, they just James enjoys the variety, because if it's too much of the same thing for too long, he's rather be out fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all very familiar, that to me, the boredom that comes. Jace is the same. And we'll talk about fishing later, I reckon, too. Guys, I've known you for a little while now, and both professionally and personally. If we think back to even 5 years or beyond that, earlier ago, what were some of the challenges that you were having when it came to running a building business? Like, how did you feel about business back then?
Yeah, not too sure about it. Like before we started, it was, I don't know, we were just always like working flat out.
Long hours.
Yeah.
I was working I've been working other jobs, like in the public school environment and then a corporate environment. And it was, James, you were always working probably 70 or 80 hours a week is what it felt like. And
on the tools, and then you come home and be quoting and all that sort of stuff as well. And it's just, and just never seemed to be look like it getting in front. We always seem to be always chasing money, and
not charging enough, or just not knowing, just not knowing what we didn't know, more or less. It was just doing a job, but as a business. So it was really crazy to think about it back then. Like when you think back, you just didn't even think, wasn't even a thought that, we need someone running an office or anything like that. It was just James doing everything on the tools, on the phone, ordering, scheduling, just doing the work as it came in as well, not being able to be selective with what you wanted to do. We were just
no real plan.
No plan. Yeah. It was chaos.
A bit of chaos. Yeah, okay. And so, James, you would have, because you're the third generation, as you spoke of. So I guess, was there an element for you of, I'm following suit a bit, but did you start to question what was, or what you'd been, like the way you'd been raised in the industry?
Yeah, bloody oath. I was pretty certain, like when I was at school, I wasn't going to be a builder. Yeah. And I just fell into it, and I played up a fair bit at school, as a lot of young boys do. And then just say, well, we'll do this. I'll go building for a bit, and just haven't stopped.
And you really found your craft though. Like you have always been like a hands-on sort of person. Yeah, it was just, there wasn't much what I've witnessed in that whole time, because I've been around for what feels for forever, but there wasn't as much, I guess, management is what it felt like anyway back then. It was just, you went and did a job. Someone would say, I need someone, I want a builder extension. How much? Like Wary, like James's dad, and they'd do a bit of a quote and that'd be that. There was no real administration or anything like that really involved. And
mostly handwritten stuff.
Handwritten, the gentleman's agreement, shake of the hand. Like, it's really crazy how it's all just progressed in that 14 years even.
Yeah. Yeah, and did you watch the way that even your dad did it, Wary, and go, there's got to be a better way, or did you think that that's just how it is? Or
I pretty much just thought that was how it was. Like, you just get up the crack of dawn, rip into work, and come home at night
when it's dark. Don't see your kid.
Sit in the office, do the bookwork, and go to bed. Get up and do it again in the morning.
And have any time off on the weekends. That's pretty well how it was ingrained, for sure.
Yeah, because you'd been raised in that environment, the baton's handed on and the same thing repeats.
Yeah.
And so do you remember a moment for yourself, Wary, where you're like, oh, hang on, I can see that there is a different way? Was there a moment in time, or?
I thought it pretty well had to be, because like when we're just like completely busting our ass, we're going to have to do something else because we're just not making ends meet. We just,
and we always just probably had my wage as well, which was just, it was there as a support. So that was just the money that we'd use. But you said there's got to be, like, I'm sick of working. You were sick of working weekends. You were sick of not, like, this, as the boys just started to get that little bit more, we want to do stuff with dad and want to on the weekends, or go fishing or ride bikes or anything, swimming, didn't matter. And you were like, yeah, something's got to change, something's got to give. And that's probably more or less when it was about 2018, I think. So I went over and met with you, Kate, over in Denny for your free seminar, and I came back and told Wary all about it. It's like,
pretty much went in one ear and out the other.
Yeah, but then when I said that,
started explaining some stuff.
And really, it would have been like the real penny drop moment for you would have been when we were doing our group sessions, and Kate's no more of this working on the weekend bullshit. And you were like, oh, is that an option? Like, you never really thought that was an option because of the way it was all ingrained into you.
How was that? So it was around that time, probably 2019 or 2020, was it, when you guys came on board? Like, James, that would have been a pretty foreign sort of a thing for you. Like, how did it feel going, I got to go and learn some stuff here, or I'm about to? What was that like for you?
Yeah, it was interesting because I'm not terribly computer savvy, but so it was all a bit new and a bit exciting, a bit scary, but it was good. You just know I've got to keep doing it the way I've been doing it for forever. Change it up.
And started to learn. Oh, you started to hear from other builders and other trades, and that was always what your favorite or your key takeaway was, that you loved hearing from other blokes, because at the time you think it's just yourself.
Anything you're going through, you think, oh shit, this is crap. That's that. Listen to the other blokes and other trades and that, they're like, everyone's been through it, everyone's done it.
And just leaning on each other.
Like, oh, try this, try that. Like,
brilliant. Never thought of it, and just heard someone else say it, or you guys say it, and
exact same situation, this and that. It's like
game changer.
And it's that, and I don't feel so alone now. And it's strange because I think in business, when we think that we're the only ones going through it, it's a feeling of, do I talk about this? Because what if I'm the only one? And do I share it? Because what if, is that an embarrassing thing that I'm going through? Is it something that I I'm doing wrong, and the answer is always no. Everybody's on the same in the same boat, like you said. So it's good. It was good. And I remember you guys, we call the OGs, obviously, that group, for some of the originals that came on board with Ladies with Tradies. And it's pretty cool to see what you've achieved over that time. So if you thought about a couple of things that built your confidence over time for you, Ware, and we'll come to you too, Bec. What do you think has been key in building your confidence? Was there a principle or something that you're like, yeah, that helped a lot?
I think because when we were first out on our own, we were earning like, I think it was $30, $40 an hour, if that. Yeah. And then we're just saying, oh, we can charge, $70, $80 an hour. Nah, surely not. I'm not going to get jobs. And then do it, get paid. Like, huh. This is brilliant. Next one, like, oh, how good's this? And you actually, you're making enough money to cover everything.
And had a little bit over.
Yeah. And you've got making money, you've got time on the weekend. You don't have to be,
struggling, busting your butt all the time.
Yeah. I remember, I'm pretty sure it was there was 3 of you builders that I had a sideline message chat with, and I said, listen here, all of you need to go and do this at a minimum immediately. And those same builders who you're good mates now, all of you.
Yes.
Yeah, like a totally different businesses 5 years later or 6, 7 years later. And it was that, I remember that chat. As soon as you said that, where I'm like, that's right. I remember that sideline messenger chat where I'm like, do you know what? I'll just let them all know together, rather so that they all know they're in it together. And go and increase your prices effective immediately and watch the change. So pricing's been a big thing for you, Ware.
Yeah.
Yep. And understanding that more.
And just having confidence in yourself that you're worth that money.
Your knowledge, experience, for sure.
Yeah. And then running the job site with team and how that's all charged and how you're pricing your materials and all of that. Interestingly, people go, if the more I work, the more money I'll make. But what's your experience been of that?
You definitely, the more organized you are, the better everything flows. You just don't have downtime, and everything works so much better. Doesn't drag jobs out. That's what I found has been the killer, especially with a couple of apprentices and that sort of thing. You have stuff where you get a hold up or something like that. They're sitting there doing nothing for hours, and
and it can buckle you over a little bit, can't it? Like when we're not scheduling or organized or booking the jobs in like we've learned how to do over the years, we definitely feel that and notice that, and the stress levels rise, and you just know, we know to come back to those processes, and they're ingrained now, those new foundations, which is good.
So it sounds like you've got pricing that you really like knuckled down on. You've got scheduling your job or managing your projects according to your cash flow, because I know you guys did a lot of work on that with your coach over time. And then the organisation and planning that sort of comes with that, by the sounds of it. If you plan around when the money's going to drop and take on the right jobs too, where you know that you can have a couple going, but they've got to be in alignment with how the money runs.
Yep, that's it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And when you worked out that you needed to be charging what you actually were worth, you didn't have to be doing and accepting every single job that came under his nose. Like, he could work out that, I don't need to work all weekend, charge what I actually am worth and what the actual going rate was and is. And you have that time then. That's
you work out, I've got this big job, I'll have this little job and this little job I can squeeze in when I'm wait for stuff for that. And you didn't have to do all those little rubbish jobs like crawling under houses and doing all that.
So how many no's would come out of your mouth now versus back 6 years ago?
Pretty much none had go out before, but I'd pretty much accept everything. Probably just under half, I'd say.
Yep. So you're screening a lot more the type of work that you want. And when you want it too, because
that's it.
small builders too, we always have said, and you will have heard me say this a lot of times, you guys, because you've been around a long time, but being careful to not schedule so far ahead that you snooker yourself like financially and you can't turn the ship for increased profitability if you got too much in the tank. Yeah, being a bit more choosy and not just booking yourself years in advance, because that can happen when you're a small builder. You know, you do 3, 4, 5 jobs of considerable size a year. You don't want to go too much further ahead of time because it can unstick you, can't it?
Yeah. Yep.
And that's something that we've reflected on and spoken about a bit, is that, and which we actually learnt early days back probably in the OG group with you, was that there's actually enough work to go around for everybody.
Yeah.
And even now we're still finding that it's not that James really, you don't, when you say no to work, it's not really no. You're more or less saying, I really probably can't fit or schedule that in, and we'll always refer it on to someone else. And there's always someone that maybe is still a carpenter, but they're not wanting huge jobs. It might suit them.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do see a little bit of it. There's that, you can see the mentality in other people where they want all the work.
Yeah.
And we've come to that realization. They're chasing a couple of leads and it doesn't go through for whatever reason. There's always something else. There's always some other work that's coming through. And it always does come through.
Yeah, you sort of worry about it, but yeah, it always seems to come through. So.
Yeah. So have you come to a place now, Wary, that you accept that? Because there's always a transitionary phase, I reckon, for the tradies when we say, oh, smash it up that price and then go again and then go again. And if you haven't been told recently, you too, go again.
Yeah.
Like increase it again. That phase, like that in-between period where you're going through sales and presenting your quotes, like how was that for you? Did you find that a challenge in the early days of really upping the ante?
Oh, bloody oath. Yeah, I have to say, yeah, this is our hourly rate. This is what we charge. And yeah, a lot of the time you're just feeling like you really have to justify that. And people look at it, oh,
yeah,
but it's what it is.
Yep. And that's what you're worth. Yeah. And now do you find though the justification of it you don't do as much? It's just like the price.
Don't justify it at all. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. And what have you noticed, Bec, in how Ware's shown up over the change in his confidence or the way he's showing up?
Oh, I definitely have noticed a huge change. And even if I was to go back to the initial stages, but even just this last 5 years or so that we've been involved with Ladies with Tradies, there was a huge amount of aspects that we just weren't aware of when running a business. Or for instance, James was always a little bit cautious about me not being employed somewhere else, like that fear of, oh, what if? And then we got to a stage where he was like, I was quite content. I liked my job. Like I was working obviously still in the same area, building and planning within local government. But James actually said to me one day, I need you, Bec. I need you to be here and helping me because I can't keep up with it all. And yeah, so that was a really big decision for us to make, and it was a good one. I'm glad we made that. But I've noticed as well, just the way James deals with clients, he deals with suppliers, even his team. He just is assertive now, or he'll try and please a situation as much as possible, because really at the root core, it's like you genuinely care about the work he's doing and the people and our clients that we have. But yeah, he's also very thorough in how he explains what it is that he's got to get done and get across the line. So yeah, I'm really proud of the business owner that he is now. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, pretty cool. And I remember back to that time when it took us a little bit to get you out, Bec, out of your job. But what was it that made you feel confident enough to go to Bec and say, I know that you got your job and that, but I actually need you? And because you had to feel confident enough to say that to her. So what made you confident enough to be like, no, it's safe for me to try and pull her out now? What was going on that made it okay?
Just doing all the ladies with trade stuff, and we were making good money, and it was just needed her not on the tools, but
although
on her tools.
On her tools, that's it.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, it was just brilliant, and wouldn't turn back.
No.
Yeah, it's so great. And because it is a bit of a security blanket, often the wives' income, like whatever degree that income is there, it 100% provides safety. And I even think you're from a farming community. How many of the nurses in our community were married to farmers, and the nursing wage was like the thing that kept the stability? And it's no different in our industry with you guys as builders, because staged payments, you're not getting paid every week. Whereas the weekly wage for a household with young kids is pretty, you want that stability. So that, to me, for you, like knowing you, James, I remember being like he's feeling like this is safe as houses, because you're a cautious dude for him to be able to ask that question.
Yeah, you just haven't been able to have the confidence there that you say, yes, we're going to be fine. Like this is no dramas. We can do this. No worries.
Yeah.
And you back yourself in, man. I'm backing myself in that I can support my wife's income and my children and my staff. That's bloody exciting. I loved it.
100%. Yeah. And still, even now, when things go a little off track or whatever, we still know that everything is going to be okay. Like, we just have that network, the community, we can lean on each other. It's just everybody's had some kind of experience. So it's definitely just been the best blessing for sure.
Shit, yeah.
And so you have, sorry, Ware.
So we definitely wouldn't be going without it.
No.
Yeah, it would have been dusted years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome, and to see you doing so well as a family is always, I just love it. So you talked about the challenge, and you have copped it a bit in the last few years without us going into details. How has the confidence that you've built that you were building in the lead up to that supported you in getting through that?
Yeah, like you still get down, you think about it, you get in your own head a bit, and Jesus Christ, this is killing us. And just get up, go to work. We can do this.
Yeah.
Money keeps coming. We keep working through it. And yeah.
We were at the stage too. And I guess too, we did a lot of leading up to it with Ladies with Tradies, and James did the Level Up Tradie program with you, and he really enjoyed, like, you loved that.
Yep.
We both just would have those moments and be like we've got the right mindset and mentality, that we know that there's nothing is bigger than us that we can't overcome together. And we kept actually saying, like, together united we stand, divided we fall. And we just had each other's back the whole time. And we just would be like, trust me. James would be like, I trust you, you trust me.
You got this.
You handle this part.
Handle that. I'll get this sorted.
Yeah. And we just knew that we had to keep that communication was key, and lean on each other in that I'm no good with this today. This is just, it's just eating at me. I can't deal with that, and that's okay. They'd pick up the slack, sort of thing. So yeah, definitely a huge thing. And like, you probably remember, and speaking with different members of Ladies with Tradies, and of course all the other builders who have been through 100 different and similar things as well, that you just keep leaning in on each other. And it's a privilege to be able to keep working and to keep providing for your family and other employees, and
other families going.
If you didn't have that mentality or that mindset, it would be just very easy for it all just to pack it in and jump ship, really.
And I guess watching you guys too over the years, and you really have copped it. Like, yes, I know you liken it to other things that other people have gone through, but it's a fairly significant challenge that you guys were presented with, and to no fault of your own. Can I just make that clear? Because what I've loved watching is you just go over and over the scenario and find the areas that you could have taken responsibility for, even though there probably hasn't been, like, there was very few. But you've gone, oh, hang on, there's a little slither. Let's plug that gap. And you've just grown from a tough experience, and you'll only just do more and more well because of it. And that's the thing, isn't it? You've got that attitude that through adversity comes growth. And that's how you've looked at it. You've been like, this is a learning experience. And I've never once heard you guys drop below the spirit level, as we call it, even though, like you said, James, sometimes you get in your own head, but you just kept rising above it and can continue to rise above it. And your small community creates its own challenges with when things can go a bit awry, but your community's rallied around us, and that's been pretty special to watch too. It's because you built your reputation and you stand true to it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that comes back to James. Like, we always talk about that good bloke syndrome, but he definitely is a good bloke, and people know that as well. And
if you don't have things in place, it can still bite you in the ass.
Yeah, that's right. It can, but you've just got great support from even through the trades you use and the clients you have. And that people rally and get you to do work that they might not have been wanting to be done at that time, but they see an opportunity. And like you said, like we said before, like when there's always can be that little bit of void, and it just opens up for new opportunity for sure.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome to watch. And so, like, where to from here for you guys? What's happening next? What are you working towards?
We're doing some commercial work.
Yeah, we just started to put our, I guess, dip your toe in with some more commercial sort of side of work, and
a lot bigger job.
Yeah. Excited about that. Like, it's one of those things where we was a bit of the nothing changes if nothing changes, and
doing the same thing.
And you love doing we love doing the residential side of things. We love the family home and creating a great environment, because James has maintained that value throughout with everything. He will build or do an extension, but any part of the building, it's as if he was building it for his own family and kids. So he's very particular.
Try to make it exactly what they want.
Sort
of bend over backwards and go a bit too far, but
no, but you just
try to do as much as you can for the people you work for, and a lot of the time I think they appreciate it.
Definitely is appreciated. And we've signed on another new build in Mulwala, so that's exciting. That's a new residential home, so that will be kicking off soon, and just got a couple of extensions that we enjoy, like we said, the versatility. And with our apprentices too, like you said to a couple of people when they said, oh, it's probably not a job you really want to do, Ware and James. No, my apprentices need to learn that it's not all new houses or new bathrooms or whatever. It's
like new houses, just A goes to B goes to C. Stand it up, it's just a jigsaw puzzle. Whereas you do an old house, when you got to pull it apart, and you've got to figure out exactly how they did it 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago, and you got to build it back new and
you
really
problem solve through it. It's a great experience. Beautiful. So you got plenty in the pipe and a bit of exciting new kind of challenges ahead of you too, which is, it's the good old poo your pants a little bit because it's new, but rely on what you already know, which is everything, like a lot, especially you Waries. That's pretty exciting, and plenty of time for fishing, mate.
Between fishing and footy's firing back up, so the boys are loving that. In between that, we'll sneak in a bit of fishing and it should be good.
You guys are very big in your community too. Like, Bec, are you coaching this year, Bec? Or
I'm coaching the 17s again this year, and I've enjoyed that. Plus, just involved with the football club as well, and with our boys. So we love that, and I love to see how involved James is as well. Like, he's always there training with the boys, and on the weekends doing the running or anything he can help out. So it's great.
In amongst it, something that might have been on the shelf if you hadn't have decided that it had to change all that, like those years ago.
Definitely.
I think goes back to the way it was. I suppose I played probably 200 senior games with Berrigan, and I think my old man saw 2 games, if that.
Yeah, even as an adult.
From juniors all the way to, I think he might have saw the grand final or something, like grand final we played in whenever it was. But and I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. We want to be involved and, create experiences for our kids and those memories too, because I guess too, that's the generation we came from. That's it. Our parents' generation. It was just all work, and that was that. And
they didn't know they didn't know another way. And I think that's the thing. A lot of people don't see that there is another way. You guys saw it. You could have chosen to just pretend it wasn't there, but you grabbed it by the balls, and here you are enjoying a great lifestyle with your young family. Well, the boys aren't that young anymore. I feel, my gosh, when I see them, oh God, you're huge. I can't believe how big you've gotten, you two. So it's brilliant to watch. And we get to go and have a fish every now and then with Ware on the lake, and shows us up every time on the cod fishing. That's all right. Maybe we can show him up on the barra fishing up north sometime soon.
Exactly.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So if you could share something, I don't know, that's a game changer as far as backing yourselves in, one thing from each of you, why is it important to do it? What's something you'd share?
I'll go first. Usual, the finding a network or a community like Ladies with Tradies and asking the questions. Like, just ask the questions, because you just don't know what you don't know. And what James said before, you get in your own mind and head too much, you just start sabotaging yourself with the self-talk. So ask questions, definitely.
Yeah, awesome. What about you, Ware?
I read something. I saw it was 2022. There was like 4,000 builders went bust. 23, I think it was 7,000. 24, it was 10,000. Look, there's like 21,000 builders in the last couple of years. Look, if we didn't have this, we'd definitely be in that.
Yeah. So
wow,
it's definitely true. Definitely true. That's
pretty sobering, isn't
it?
Yep.
Yeah. And you
think about all those boys, all those families, and that's you've left me a bit speechless there, Ware. It's a dire situation out there for some, and we can't save everybody, but geez, I just want to get hold of anyone that we can and support them to have what you guys are building for yourselves and for your families. Yeah, we bloody love yous. We love having yous around in the Ladies with Tradies realm and catching up personally as well. So thank you so much for everything that you bring to us. It's getting a bit dusty on the screen, so we'll wind it up.
Yeah.
But you're bloody rippers, and we're so proud to have seen what you guys continue to do and how far you've come in yourselves and your confidence levels. And as business owners, your acumen is just incredible. And I never want anyone to go through a shit fight to grow that way, but geez, you guys have you're just dominating. So we love yous lots, and thanks so much for being on our podcast.
Thanks for having us, Kate. And right back at you. We love you guys, and we tell everyone all the time just how grateful we are for such a strong community. And
anyone that'll listen.
Anyone that will listen, we tell. That's exactly right. Yeah. Yep. No, we like exactly what James said. Who knows what would have happened, but we're still here and kicking butt, and that's because we were given the confidence to do so and back ourselves in, like you said, 100%.
Yep.
Good on you guys. Love your work. Thanks again, and we'll catch up soon.
Awesome. Cheers, mate.